Well, all right, welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be archives. Yeah, well, today I'm going to be doing another track versus track. Yeah, I decided to do a couple of classic Queen albums up against one another. We have 1975's A Night at the Opera versus 1976's A Day at the Races. Yeah, ooh. I've been wanting to do these two against each other for the longest time, almost as long as I've been doing track versus tracks. Now, what's taken me so long is that basically the reason why I didn't do it a long time ago is that originally when I was doing track versus tracks, I was doing them in running order. And I always insisted on doing only albums that had the same number of tracks. These don't have the same number of tracks. Night at the Opera has 12 tracks. Day at the Races has 10. So this has 2 more tracks than this one does. Now with this one, you can take God Save the Queen off because, you know, right? But that's still 1 too many, and there was no way I could get it to where it was the same number. And then finally, after I started doing it where I rank the tracks before doing the track versus track, I kind of decided to throw the whole, you know, it has to have the same number of tracks, like stipulation, out the door. So I'm doing this. Yeah, so, all right, as I mentioned, I've ranked the tracks from bottom up, and I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to go on up, and I'm going to track versus track it, all right? But I will give you the ranking of the songs that don't have songs to go against, you know, just because. Because content. All right, so coming in at number 12 on A Night at the Opera, you're going to be shocked. You're going to be stunned. God Save the Queen. Yeah, I mean, really, I could have just cut it off entirely. But coming in at number 11, I have Good Company. Yeah, Brian May, kind of, you know, ukulele sort of kind of track that I never really liked that much. It's not a bad track. I used to outright dislike it when I was a kid because it was just, yeah, I just couldn't do it. I like it okay now, but I still have it only at number 11. But now, we get on to the actual track versus track battle because now we're at number 10. And coming in at number 10 on A Night at the Opera is Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes. You know, Bohemian Rhapsody, when I was a kid, I loved it. I probably, it would have been at number 1 or 2. It might have been number 2. My number 1 might have been the same even then, but Bohemian Rhapsody would have at least been at number 2. I loved that song. I would play this album and I would play that song. I remember my mom going, God, Jesus, are you listening to that Mama song again? Jesus, what is this? Yeah, I was listening to the Mama song over and over again. And then, of course, it became a huge thing kind of in the 90s and beyond, and it's grown bigger and bigger and bigger over time, and even more and more and more played out. And it's at this point where it's a great song that I can't stand anymore. I don't want to ever listen to that song ever again. You know, yeah, I can't. But it goes against what I put at number 10 on A Day at the Races, which is Drowse. Yeah, the Roger Taylor tune. You know, that song is a bit of a mess. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just kind of a mess. And I feel like the production on it is really muddy. I feel like the arrangement is cluttered. And it's just, I can't even find the song in there. And therefore, I give it to Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. Yes, I may be sick to death of Bohemian Rhapsody, but I'll still take it over Drowse. Tally sheet. Night gets 1, and Day, nothing just yet. Well, all right. Well, coming in at number 9 on Night at the Opera, Seaside Rendezvous. Yeah, Seaside Rendezvous. That's another one. You know, this album was really spotty for me when I was much younger, because there's so many different kinds of songs in this, and there's so many different kinds of tracks on here that just I couldn't. They just went whoo, when I was at like 10. You know. Now I like all of them, but yeah, Seaside Rendezvous is just a lesser track. I like it. It's okay. It's fine. And I put that up against number 9 on Day at the Races, which is Tio Toriati, Let Us Clean Together, which is the final track on the album. And, well, Not at the Opera gets another one. I mean, I'll tell you now that Not at the Opera is my favorite out of the 2 albums. So, we'll see how this goes. But I mean, Day at the Races has some of my very, very favorite Queen songs, period, on it. So it's going to get points. All right. So coming in at number 8 on Night at the Opera is 39. Yeah, the Brian May. Brian May had a lot of, kind of acoustic-y kind of tracks on these records. But, but he could rock. If you ever listen to any of his stuff, like if you listen to some of his solo stuff, he had the ability to do like the really heavy, hardcore vocals like Freddie. Like he has a really, really great voice. I really wish that if Queen were, if they had to continue without Freddie, they should have just been a power trio with Brian on vocals, because he has the voice that you want to hear on a Queen song rather than Paul Rodgers or anybody else that they've had. Yeah, so yeah. But anyway, I digress. Let's move forward here. So number 8 is 39, and that goes up against what I have at number 8 on Day at the Races, which is The Millionaire Waltz. Yeah, and that is the last track on side 1, right? Yeah. And that's, that's a good Freddie track. Oof. You know what? I'm going Day at the Races. Yeah, I'm giving that to Millionaire Waltz. 39 is good, and I think most people like that song way more than I do. I like it, but it's just not a favorite. Neither is Millionaire Waltz, but all right. Coming in at number 7 on Night at the Opera is Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon. Now, when I was a kid, I always kind of perceived that as being part of Death on Two Legs. It comes right in, and it almost seems like it's just part of the same song, But it's its own track, so I'm ranking it as such, and I really love that one. I really love it, but I'm getting into like the area where the songs are getting really fucking good. So as much as I love Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon, I only have it at 7 because the top 6 are woo. All right. All right. So coming in at number 6. So that goes up against coming in at number 7. So that goes up against what I have coming in at number 7 on Day at the Races, which is Good Old Fashioned Loverboy. And oh man, ooh, oh that's tough, because Good Old Fashioned Loverboy is more of a substantial song. Lazy on the Sunday Afternoon only almost kind of seems like a link track, or an incidental. It's not really a full song. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't like it more. So, all right. Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon gets that. Okay. All right, so coming in number 6 on Night at the Opera is Love of My Life. Oh, yeah. Now, I kind of always liked the Live Killers version of that the best. And I didn't really so much love the Night at the Opera version when I was young. But I've really, really grown to love this one, and with this version of it. And, well, it's going up against what I have at number 6 on Day at the Races, which is You and I. Well, that's pretty easy. Love of My Life. Yeah, You and I is great, but, I mean, come on. Yeah, I don't know. Things are going to get treacherous here. Well, actually, you know what? Night at the Opera is going to win a lot of songs now. Okay, all right. Number 5. Prophet Song, opening track on side 2. Now, that goes up against the track I have at number 5 that I ranked at number 5 on Day at the Races, which is White Man. White Man, one of the heaviest tracks on Day at the Races. Prophet Song, one of the heaviest tracks on Night at the Opera. And arguably, probably the proggiest. It's an 8-minute track. Now, Prophet Song, I actually toyed with putting it all the way up at number 2. I actually docked it, and I docked it substantially for that really long, sort of wanky vocal thing in the middle. Now I know, now I know, now I know. It's just, it goes on too long. It's like a whole minute and a half of the song. It's a huge chunk of the song. and it really, really, there needs to be like an edit of this track where it cuts it down to, you know, the song. Now, if it was an edit that was just a song that cuts out all that shit, this would be my number 2 song. But I really, there's just so much of that there that I ended up deciding that I prefer the other tracks I have above it more. But Prophet Song does kick ass. And yeah, and that goes up against White Man. Well, I'm still going Prophet Song though. Yeah, I'm still going Prophet Song. Oh shit, okay. Coming in number 4. Coming in at number 4 on Night at the Opera, You're My Best Friend. Yeah, You're My Best Friend, one of the singles. One of the ones it's not cool to like on this album, but I like it. And I'm telling you right now, I like it. Ooh, I like it. And I have it at number 4, and that goes up against what I have at number 4 on Day at the Races, which is Somebody to Love. Yeah, the big single from that album. I'm going to Day at the Races on that. Yeah. That's really neck and neck. But yeah, Somebody to Love over You're My Best Friend. But man, not by much. I love both of those. All right. Yeah, things are not looking good for Day at the Races, but whatever. All right, so coming in at number 3 on Night at the Opera, I'm In Love with My Car. Yeah, Roger Taylor coming in with a really, really kick-ass track that some people don't like. They're wrong. That's a great track. And it goes up against what I have at number 3 on Day at the Races, Tie Your Mother Down, which is the opening track. Man, what a kick-ass track that is. And ooh, what a tough choice that is. I'm In Love with My Car versus Tie Your Mother Down. Ooh. Ooh. This is a ginger ale drinker here. You have to drink and think here. Ooh. Oh, God. Okay, you know what? I know what I'm going to choose, but it was hard. Okay, this was hard. I gotta go, I'm In Love with My Car. Well, you know, I go further back. Well, aside from the fact that I just love Night at the Opera more, I go further back with the Night at the Opera. So I kind of, yeah, I think that one just kind of runs deeper for me than Tie Your Mother Down. Like, I was listening to A Night at the Opera when I was in elementary school, whereas I didn't get a Day at the Races until I was in high school. So I don't have nearly the history with it. So that comes into play. All right. So coming in at number 2 on Night at the Opera is Sweet Lady. Yeah. These top, you know, five on Night at the Opera were difficult to rank. I don't know if Sweet Lady is really my number 2, but that's how I ranked it here. And I have that go up against what I have at number 2 on Day at the Races, which is You Take My Breath Away, which is the second track on the album anyway. Ooh. But I think I know what I'm going to pick. You Take My Breath Away. Yeah, I'm giving that to Day at the Races. Now, Sweet Lady kicks ass. I love that song. Just the guitar riff, the whole thing. But You Take My Breath Away? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah. Wins. All right. So my number 1, coming in at number 1 at Night at the Opera, you might have guessed. Anybody who loves this album might have guessed. Yeah. Death on Two Legs, the opening track. That isn't just my favorite song on this album. That's my favorite Queen song. Period. Therefore, unfortunately, we already know what I'm going to choose against my number 1 on Day at the Races, which is Long Away. Oh, I fucking love Long Away. I love Long Away so much. Yes, I have it number 1 on Day at the Races. An amazing Brian May track. Melodic, almost kind of Beatlesque acoustic track that I just think is so fucking good. Honestly, yeah, Long Away would beat anything else out of both of these albums, except for Death on Two Legs. So, yeah. So, that was a slaughter. Night at the Opera got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Day at the Races only got 3. I mean, it's predictable, but I've been wanting to do this matchup for so long that I decided to do it anyway, even though I knew I knew it was going to be a complete blowout. Yeah, so there you go. That is Night at the Opera versus Day at the Races. All right, thank you everybody for watching these videos, and thank you for subscribing if you have. But if you haven't, consider subscribing. If you do, click the little bell because of you want to get junk mail. And shout out to Ralph Vieira, aka Dr. Fuck from the Almost Human channel, because he's the guy who introduced the planet to the track versus track vibe, man. And I salute him. And all right, and come back on Thursday because Crystal Durant and Tommy Von Boyd are going to be back in the world famous As It Should Be Studios with me, and we are going to be doing that. I'm doing a whole bunch of As It Should Be Archives videos, and I don't know which weeks these are going up, so I don't know what's happening this Thursday, but you do, because it says so right there. It says it right there, that. Come back for that, and I will see you soon. Whew. All right, gotta get ready. There's the mic, doing all right. Okay. I can't see it. It's a black mic on a black shirt. I can't see it. Okay. Well, all right. Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be archives. Yeah, all right. Well, today I'm going to be doing another track versus track, and this time I'm going to go. All right. All right. Suddenly I'm unable to talk. The red light goes on, and I'm. All right. Let's try this again. Take 15. Well, all right. Okay. Let's try that again. All right. All right. Well, all right.